Hey y'all, it's just my blanket. So the time is currently about 9:20 p.m. and I haven't had a chance to really vlog today yet. And the reason is I slept all day today. I woke up at around 10 o'clock and, did the usual daily activities. And then around 2:30 or so, I decided that I was going to take a nap. By the time I woke up, it was already about 7, maybe 6:37. So I pretty much slept most of the day, and this was my day off. But I think my body just shut down. It was telling me that I needed to rest, and so that's what I did. And I have not yet written today. What I did do a little bit in the morning, though, is I did some research. I'm writing my novel about a lot of things that I still need to look up because I'm not quite sure about them. I didn't do a lot of research in my pre-planning stages. I actually needed to research a certain small town. Obviously, it's not the exact same small town in my story, but it's based off of a certain small town. So I did a lot of research on that town. I did a lot of research on Texas, which is the state where the small town is, where my novel is set, and where the majority of the action happens. So I've just been doing a lot of background research and trying to sort of create an atmosphere where I am motivated to write, because I've been so tired and drained. So I've basically just been doing background research on certain characters. I introduced a new character to the story. Her name is Clara, and I love her. She's actually Milo's current girlfriend. So I didn't want to write a love triangle, but it kind of happened. And I kind of like it because instead of like two boys fighting over a girl, it's actually two girls. They're not exactly fighting over Milo, but you'll see. I don't want to give too much away. And I always feel like in the love triangle, they always make it very obvious who, our main character is going to choose. And what I like about Clara is she's not your stereotypical villainous type. She's not, you don't read Clara and think, oh, he's never going to pick her because she's not a good person. I made her a really good person and a very compassionate character. You feel for Clara. You fall in love with her character as well. So it adds a new tension to the story and obviously new conflict. I love conflicts. There's so many conflicts in my story. But I really enjoy that, and it was a twist that I didn't see coming, so that's kind of cool. Also, since Nano has started, I have read, let me see, I have read 3 books, y'all. I read The Coldest Girl in Cold Town, which I highly recommend. It's by Holly Black. If you haven't read it yet, it's a young adult. It has the feel of it has an apocalyptic dystopian feel to it, but it's a vampire novel, and I highly recommend it. I loved it. It was a 4-star read for me. Then after that, I read The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I finally got to The Darkest Minds, and so many feels for that book. I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it, and that would be a 4.5 star. I give it 4.5 stars. And then I just finished reading, gosh, what did I just read? I can't remember the title, which is really irritating, but it's a Katie McGarry book, and it's not Crashing Into You, and I don't think it's Pushing the Limits. Isn't there a second book in between that? This is gonna bug me. Hold on. Let me find out. Yes, I just finished reading Dare You To by Katie McGarry, and I would give it 4 stars. Absolutely. And it was another YA, but this was a YA contemporary romance. So, contemporary rom-com. I loved it. I absolutely adored it. The characters were fully fleshed out, fully realized, and not perfect, but yet not so damaged that you're rolling your eyes the whole time like, really? So I really did enjoy it. So yeah, I've read 3 complete novels in this month. And ironically, these books were not on my original TBR, but it happens. I always have a TBR list, and then I always find other books, especially on my Kindle. These were all read on my Kindle. I always look for books on my library's electronic, my online, my library's electronic downloads or what's available. I always get extra things to read. I just recently acquired the Delirium series, which I think is so appropriate because Nano has been making me so delirious. So I'm actually going to try and read the Delirium series as well, and we'll see how that goes. So, I mean, I'm still reading. I'm still getting some reading done, which is so interesting because I thought that Nano was going to take over my life and I thought I wouldn't have time to read, but I've actually needed to read just for a break. So, my writing process with this novel is really interesting. As y'all know, I have been plotting as I go along, and my characters have been in the driver's seat, and I've been letting them drive, and I've been following them, and they've been doing unexpected and delicious things. But recently, I kicked them out of the driver's seat, and I kind of took over because they were just doing too much. They didn't want to behave, and I found myself writing a lot of unnecessary scenes that will probably end up getting cut in editing. Cutesy scenes and lovey scenes and very heartwarming, cutesy, mushy, lovey-dovey stuff that honestly I don't need 1/3 of those things because they're not moving the story forward. And it's almost as if my characters just wanted to stay in this happy place and they didn't want to move forward to tell the rest of their story. They didn't want to go through conflict. They didn't want to experience the darkness and the darker side and the more conflicted and difficult parts. And so that's when I had to take over and I had to kick them out of the driver's seat and I had to make them go through these things and I had to make them face the entirety of their stories and the entirety of the journey. So I have actually written quite a number of cutesy scenes. I employ several literary devices while telling the story. I use a lot of flashbacks, I use a lot of repetition, and I use a lot of descriptive, I use a lot of adjectives. That's just in my writing style in general. I prefer to paint a picture for my reader and to paint a very descriptive one, a very intricate and detailed picture. That's just what I prefer. I used to be concerned that my novels would be too long, but I've recently just sort of let that worry go and I just write what I feel. And of course, in editing, a lot of pages and scenes and little parts will end up getting cut. But I mean, my one completely finished and edited manuscript currently stands at 387 pages. So I've just sort of, I write a lot. I write a lot of pages. That's just who I am as a writer. I've accepted it about myself. It's hard for me to write a 200-page book or even shorter. That's just not who I am. I really take time to flesh out my characters. I enjoy really painting a picture for the readers, and I enjoy, these longer, more detailed stories. Each of my storylines are just so larger than life and so detailed, and I find it difficult to confine myself to a page count lower than, 300. What are you gonna do? So it is now currently 9:41. I don't know if I'm actually going to write anything today. I'm not quite sure, but you know what? I am. I'm going to start writing at 10 and I'll give myself an hour. I want to try and get at least 1,000 words. Yeah, I can usually write 1,000 words in an hour. So yeah, this was kind of a more chill vlog today. I really needed to get some rest, so that was the focus of my day. And day 13 down, I'm gonna go get some writing done, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.